Good morning, my colleagues. Welcome back to Career and Corporate Hub. Ngadzi Nandi Fikodani Sadrayo. I am a career strategist, and we are still continuing with our job hunting series. So these are tips that will help you to have a better strategy when you're job hunting, basically. And if you have not checked out the other 6 videos, please do check them out because they have useful tips that are going to help you when you are job hunting. And today we're going to talk about, you finish your interview, then what? Do you wait patiently? Like what happens afterwards, and this is also very important that there are some steps that you must follow after you have finished the interview. From one of the videos, I mentioned that interview is about networking. It is not just about you going there to be questioned, to feel like you are being interrogated. It is just for you to go there to network, to create relationships that would end up putting you in a place of employment. And one of the things that are very important when you are doing an interview, or rather during the interview before it finishes, they ask you, do you have any questions for us? And you should always have a question that you are going to ask. One of the questions that you can ask them is, when would I get feedback about this interview? That is very important because then it opens up a channel of communication. So once you ask that question and they give you a date, that means that if you have not received anything from them, you should send an email following up, just to find out to what is the status of the interview. You are looking forward to receiving feedback, and this is the date that they had given you. So therefore, you thought you should check up if what is the status? So that's why it's quite important that really use that opportunity for interviews as a way to network. I remember I was doing interviews, I think somewhere in June. Most of the people that interviewed me, or rather 2 people, not even most, they actually referred me to somebody else, because of how I conducted myself in the interview, how I took it as a networking opportunity, as of just looking at it as, well, I'm going to be questioned. If I don't get it, then that's it. But you really need to create network within that, the interview, because sometimes you may find that maybe the job that you've applied for, then you're not the right person for that job. But then the interviewers or the hiring manager can then refer you to somebody else who's hiring and where the position is more suitable for the experience that you have. So that's why you really need to take it as like a networking opportunity. So it's quite important that, just when you start, you thank the interviewers for the opportunity that they've given you to get interviewed, because, out of so many people that who have applied, you have made it to the shortlist. So therefore, being granted that opportunity, it is an advantage. So now when we talk about thanking them after the interview, or rather just the last question should include, when would I get the interview feedback? After that, leaving that meeting, send an email thanking them for the opportunity that they've given you. So that email that you are sending is also a follow-up communication channel that, yes, you've interviewed me. Yes, you've told me this is when you'll give me the feedback. However, on top of that, I'm grateful enough that you've given me this opportunity out of other 20 or thousands candidates who have applied. That means that you are very much appreciative of then the opportunity, and you're not taking it for granted. And just tell them that you look forward to getting you look forward to the feedback. So that's quite important, that you then send that email. With every interview, every CV that you send, it's all about the story behind it. I always tell my clients that it's the story that you tell. The story that you're going to tell there in the interview is what is going to get you hired. How are you going to keep the interviewers hooked with the story that you are going to tell? So that's why I talk about having a storyline from how you grew up to how you are now, like a grown person, matured workplace, and how some of the values that you grew up with have now, like you still have them where you are. Like, so that's why it's quite important that you really look at the stories. So then, after sending the email, thanking them for the opportunity, if you do not hear from them after then the date that they said they were going to give you, wait for 2 days or even a day and say, I would like to follow up, and reply from the email that the email that you've sent, thanking them for the interview opportunity. Use the same channel where they've sent you the interview invite. Use the same email thread, so that there is that traceability of who you are, where you're coming from, where you started. So that's why it's quite important that you then just follow up on those emails that you would like to follow up on the status of the interview. You and then mention that from the interview you had mentioned that I was going to receive feedback on this date. However, I did not receive anything, hence I am following up. So if you want like a proper way to really write these emails, go to ChatGPT and just write, please help me with an email to thank the interviewers for I'm not really proud of saying this, but the reason why I'm advising is because I've seen a lot of emails from people that are, they've got a lot of spelling errors. They don't say respond to my email. So now using ChatGPT, it could give you some ideas on how you can, write an email. It should not be something that you copy and paste. Never copy and paste. It could be something that like just to give you ideas on how you can write your emails. Then write an email with meat. It should not be too long. Please don't write long emails. Nobody has time to read long emails. So keep it short. And then with the second one, you are following up on the like if they've any information with regards to the interview. And this is also very important, because when you're following up like this, it could also show that you are interested in working for the company. So then if they don't respond to that email, the second one, it could be that maybe you did not make it. And if you did not make it, then the third one should be after a month, to say, this is, hi, I would like to follow up on the email that I've sent on, like the previous email or the email below, if like you're looking at how, or above, looking at how your email is set up, and inform them that I was looking forward to hearing from you. However, I see there is still no response to this date. I would kindly like to ask you to add my CV in your database for future opportunities, because I am very much interested in working for the company. So it could be one email, or it could be another email following up on the same interview feedback. There's nothing wrong with following up until you get what you want. So it's really all about how you phrase your email. It's all about how you structure your email. So does your email say respond, or your email says, well, I'm just writing this email anyway, so your email should really say respond. So it's quite important that you then phrase it in a way that your like the interviewers or recruiters would then respond to you. And trust me, not everyone is going to respond, and if people are not responding, then move on. It does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. It could sometimes it's a reflection on how people are performing from the other side. You may find that they're incompetent in their job, and then you end up blaming it on yourself. So it's always advisable that you try it and then if it doesn't work, then you move on. But never give up on this strategy, because it is going to help you to then secure a job. And looking at the job market, I've said it in different videos that, you know, the job market in South Africa is very competitive, like, and people are moving positions, people are resigning, people moving into another, you know, another companies and stuff. So to keep that network, it is very important, because you may never know when you're gonna get called, you know, when a company is desperate enough to call you, to hire you. And sometimes you may find that they're not even taking you for an interview. This has happened to a lot of people, where somebody resigns with immediate effect, and now they are looking for the next candidate to replace. And then now, where do they look? They go back to the people that they've interviewed, and they see that you were polite enough that you know, they would consider then hiring you, because of that network that you've created. And also, sometimes if you're not the preferred candidate, then the preferred candidate declines, then you could be the second preferred candidate, because of how you then you know, like, you kept that communication, or just how you carried yourself after the interviews as well, and also showing interest in working for the company. So there's always like a lot of reasons why you should then follow up on you know, on your interview. So guys, don't give up easily. I know job hunting is a job itself, you know, and I'm speaking from experience. I've been unemployed for a few months. I think, like, right in the beginning of my career, and it was so frustrating, you know, being unemployed. So now I can just imagine somebody who is not employed, or who's been unemployed for a while now. They've tried different things and nothing is working. For me, until you get something, that means you have not tried everything. You know, you may give up, however, until you get something, you have not tried everything. So that's why it's quite advisable that you then try, you know, different options. It's all about setting up milestones. Like, take it as a project that, okay, phase one, this is the CV we're using. And then if it doesn't work, we're going to change the CV template. Phase two, are there any responses? The approach is, I'm going to approach the recruitment agencies and see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to knock door to door. If it doesn't work, I'm going to, you know, so put milestones when you're job hunting, because in a market like South Africa, which is very competitive, then it becomes very hard, you know. Yeah. And I think just looking at maybe let's talk about CVs as well. There's this thing that, just like, as I'm talking, something is just like going through my head about CVs, maybe a job description. I think these are like common mistakes that I see with CVs. Actually, let me do a different videos on common mistakes that I see with CVs, and then I'll just put a list of these common mistakes that you should then avoid. So the next video will definitely focus on that as well, on just common mistakes. So guys, don't lose hope if you're job hunting, and if you are trying to climb the corporate ladder, just focus on the audience that you are, you know, trying to send your CV to, and tailor your CV based on that. You will get something. But networking, definitely, networking is something that you should always put ahead, because that's what's going to then give you that advantage of getting hired. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, thank you so much. If you like the content, please, what am I saying thank you for if you're new? Yeah, I'm saying thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe, and if it's your first time joining, yes, first time, please subscribe. Yeah. And if it's you are returning and you like the content, please subscribe, and also like the videos, share the videos. I'm sure there's somebody out there that could use these interview tips. So guys, bye bye, be kind and gentle.